Hey y'all, it's Nancy Sebastian with eXp Realty, and today for our beach buzz, we're going to do a little traveling across Baldwin County. So let's see what we are going to find. I wanted to give you a market report, a condo market report in Orange Beach. When I update my sellers on a weekly basis, I try to give them as much information as I can, and this is how I do it. One in particular, I've got a seaside beach and racket, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and it's priced at $650. And it's been on the market for 34 days. So this is how I updated my client this week about what's going on with not only his unit, but what's going on in Orange Beach for the condo market. So right now there are 169 beachfront active condos ranging from 437,000 to 1.1 million. 97 of those were a 3-bedroom, and that's what he's interested in, is what's going on with the 3-bedrooms. So that's why I broke it down like that. Days on market are 87 days, and there are 22 priced between 600 and 700,000. And like I said, we're priced at 650, so that's the information that I wanted him to have. There are 27 beachfront pending, ranging from 469,000 to 200 million. 3 of those are 3-bedroom. Days on market are 60. There are 3 priced between 600 and 700,000. There were 35 beachfront that have closed in the last month. And I went back a month because we're 34 days on market. So there's 35 beachfront that have closed in the last month, ranging from 380,000 to 1.7 million. 17 of those were 3-bedrooms. Days on market was 80. And there were 9 priced between 600 and 700,000. So what that is telling me is that we have 53 days to get his unit under contract to be within the days on market range. 3 bedrooms are making up about half of the inventory. We're priced 22nd out of 169 units. So we just need to knock out 21 units to get this one sold. Right now there are 16 units for sale in Seaside. 9 of those were 3 bedrooms, and we're priced 5th of those 9 3-bedrooms. So that's kind of the way I like to update my sellers on what's going on in the market and what's going on with their unit in particular. So if you have any questions about the market here in Orange Beach with Gulfront condos, give me a call. Thanks.
here with our Beach Buzz Live with Brent Bishop at B&B Pecan Company.
Mm-hmm.
And Brent, tell us how long this has been here.
So this year will be our 67th year in business.
Okay.
Nanny and Paw started it 1956 is when this business started, but they did farming prior to B&B Pecan Company with Nanny's dad and Paw dad, Aaron Bishop and Sons. It was comprised of Paw and all of his brothers, and the majority of the land that you see out here on 98 they owned and farmed.
Oh, wow.
And so that's how they got into the farming to begin with. So Calvin, Nanny's dad, basically gave them the idea to start a retail business out here.
Wow.
So they started this, and it was a way for Nanny to stay home with the kids and have a way to make some income while raising the kids out here. So that's kind of the origin story, and then it kind of transitioned from row crop farming to they went into the pecan business. So they planted trees out here, and 67 years later, we're still farming. Yep. We've definitely added a lot more products since then, but back then all they did was just wholesale pecans because all they had was the orchard. They didn't do candies, they didn't do the jams and jellies and the tins. They just did pecans.
Right.
And then 67 years later, it's grown into a gift business.
And these are done here. Your
Yes.
baked goods and
So at Christmas times when we're pretty busy.
Oh, I'm sure.
So basically a lot of companies and people, they use us to do their Christmas shopping.
So do you ship them?
Yes, we
Okay.
ship everything.
Good to know.
Obviously it's too hot to ship chocolates right now, but
Oh,
we
yeah.
do ship year round, but just not the chocolates. But
Right.
yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
Christmas times when we really ramp up out here.
Do you have a website?
We do. We have a website. You can go to B&B Pecan and click the website, but the website is pecangifts.com.
Okay.
So yeah, you can visit our website. We have a little catalog and.
Awesome.
And what generation are you, Brent?
For B&B Pecan, I'm third generation because Nanny and Paw started it. But if you count Calvin Brown and the other farming in the family, I'm fourth generation out here.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
I'm third generation for this business.
And how long have you been actually helping with? I mean, you're not that old. So.
No, I'm about to be just 25. But so I've been running the inside operations for about the last 2 years, 2 or 3. I went to college, and then but I've always worked out here with Dad on the farm. So the first thing I did was I farmed with Dad. So I learned the outside, the orchard growing, how to grow trees, how to grow a really good pecan, and then Dad wanted me to move inside and learn the inside business. So, and he wanted me to go to college too. So I went to college and got a degree in business. And then I came out here, and for the last 2 or 3 years, I've been running the inside operation with the retail side, the mail order business. And so that's kind of my next goal, is to just kind of keep it going. And,
Right. That's very good.
So.
Well, I have a question, and I've always had this question since I've been down here. I moved down south when in '76, and driving around Fairhope and the pecan orchards and all that stuff. My question is, when you're driving down the road and you're looking at those trees, they're all in line. Why?
That's to make the harvesting a lot easier. So if they were kind of scattered all over the place, you wouldn't really have an efficient way to harvest and pick
That
up the
makes sense.
pecans. So keeping them in rows, and also the rows are different varieties as well, so you don't mix them up, because there is different pecan varieties.
Yes.
So each row and different sections is different varieties of trees, which makes the harvesting operation much smoother.
That makes sense. And
Thank
there's a
you
reason.
so much
Yeah.
for sharing your story with us. It's an
Absolutely.
awesome story. Thank you.
Hey, it's Vicki Avens here, eXp Realty. I am here with Nancy Sebastian, and we are doing the Beach Buzz Live here in Fairhope at the Ox Kitchen. So if you have not ever been here, it is amazing. I would tell you what all they have, but I typically only do the shrimp tacos, which are phenomenal, or the protein power bowl, which is amazing. Oh yeah, best French fries anywhere. Just throw that in there. So y'all come out to Fairhope.
I guess I can tell you a little bit about the background of the community or whatever. Malbus Plantation was founded by a Greek Orthodox monk. His name was Jason Malbus. He came to the U.S. Because he was curious to see how the people that were immigrating to the U.S. From Greece at the time, how they were getting on. He made his way to the Chicago area, and after speaking with some Greeks there, he realized that what they really needed was, or what they wanted was kind of a settlement of their own, where they could be amongst people with similar backgrounds that understood the language and that kind of thing. So him and a friend of his started kind of traveling through the country looking for a place to make a Greek settlement, and they went down from the Chicago area into Texas and across Louisiana to here, and they were looking at some land here, and Mr. Malbus felt that he saw a sign, and so he said this should be the place. And so they started writing back to their friends up in the Chicago area, the people they were talking with, and they said, hey, you remember that thing that we were discussing? And we found a place for it, come on down. So they convinced a number of the Greeks to come down, and they started with farming, and they bought a piece of land, farmed it, and hence the name Malbus Plantation. Again, that was back in 1906. As more Greeks came down into the area and settled here, they bought more land, but they also started expanding into different things, that they felt that they needed, that the area needed. And so they built their own sawmill, they built their own ice plant and power plant. They had a dairy, nursery, a bakery in Mobile, a cannery of their own, so they can can not only their own vegetables, but their neighbors' vegetables. And so after a while and a lot of hard work, the community began to prosper, and there was over 100 Greeks living and working here. And then just kind of a background, Greeks settled here in Malbus. Italians settled in about the same time, late 1800s, early 1900s. Italians settled in Daphne. Swedes settled in Silver Hill, and Germans settled in Alberta. And you'll find, their descendants floating around to this day. And so it wasn't just the Greeks that came up with that idea. It was, a lot of the different people that were coming over from Europe were kind of trying to find their own countrymen and set up their own areas, and they were congregating together. So late 1930s, Mr. Malbus went back to Greece. He wanted to visit Greece, and so he goes back there, but he got trapped there by World War II. He ended up getting sick, and he died in 1942. And then before he died, he wrote a letter back to the community stating some of his last wishes, and one of them was to have a church built here in the community. And so they started, after raising money, they started in 1960, finished in 1965. They brought his body back over from Greece, and he's buried in the corner of the church. So.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's beautiful.
So that's the background.
That's the background.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
That's how we got here. Yeah, I mean, feel free to go on up and look around and
Sure.
go all the way up to the rail.
Thank you so much.